What do we want to talk
We're
about?
going to talk about you a little bit, but not your professional career. We'll
Okay,
talk
great.
about your sports.
Thank
your
you. I
sports
prefer
career.
not to. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do like a little chit chatty thing first, so it sounds really casual, and then I do an introduction.
Okay.
But we're actually recording during the. Yeah, we started doing these shows, so they're good. Like, people like you, former inductees who come in, and
It's nice.
almost 2 years later now. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, it's been a fast 2 years, but yeah, it's I can't believe it's been 2 years. But
Whirlwind kind of an evening when you were there.
there's so many. Yeah, it was a whirlwind evening. It was such an honor, and I was so blessed to have almost all my siblings there, and of course all my kids. And the one moment, and you and I are going to laugh about this, and I still can't understand why I did it, but when I said that I had 4 beautiful children and named all 5 of them, and they're still debating to this day, like,
Who's the ugly one?
who was the ugly one, or of course they're all beautiful. So but or just like when you come from a big family, like, so which one was mom displeased with that day, and it wasn't, and I still kind of just chuckle and wonder like why I made that mistake, but I can tell you there's this kind of joke that that it was just, I listened to the show every morning, and there's a part of it where they ask this woman, I have 4 beautiful children, 4. And I don't know if I got it from
just
there.
Stuck, right?
But it just stuck. But no, I have 5 children, and they're all beautiful, and they're great, and I'm so blessed for them. So, if you know me and you've either worked with me or or my, I'm a little like, I'm an absent-minded professor sometimes,
Sure.
and I'm someone that, I can recite to you lots of facts and figures and make tough decisions, but don't ask me where my keys are at any present moment. So I think, it kind of rolled into that. One of my my high school track coaches that were there that evening, and I was so blessed for them to have been there that evening. He got me for Christmas that year a big shirt with the number 5 on the back of it. So, and I think it's important to be able to kind of joke and laugh. But I also think that moment in time where I made that mistake is for as much public speaking as I have done, that was when I do public speaking, it's about other people.
Sure, right.
And it's about advocating for other people
right.
or trying to rally
It's different.
other people.
It's different.
When it's like the moment where you're talking about your own life, I was nervous.
Yeah.
And it was really weird for me because I don't get nervous in those spaces. I think the other thing, too, is having been a past board member. I wasn't a board member at the time, but I know the importance of setting the tone for the evening.
Sure.
And I was really
Timing-wise
focused
and everything
on
else,
not
yeah.
saying anything or not saying anything that would prolong the time period. And I had that clock in front of me. But it's just a night where you really wish that you could thank all the people that played a role in why you were being honored, and it just never seems like enough time to do that. So yeah, I was a little nervous, and I was really uncomfortable with the spotlight.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, there was part of me that wanted to decline.
Yeah, right.
But I also
We
know...
weren't going to let that happen.
Well, I also just know that would have been it was a moment to shine some light on some people like Denny Lynch.
Yeah, sure.
Who played such a really big role in my college years, giving me an opportunity to be his intern.
Right.
Or like a Ron Burdovich that I spent some time thanking, who also was someone that I would talk throughout the years, no matter where either one of us was working.
Right.
And then, of course, recognizing... especially when it comes to anything I've done in the athletic administration realm since my running days, of really thanking my husband, because there's not many guys in this world that would put up with that.
Right.
So
we're talking with Dr. Bridget Nyland, and Bridget was inducted into the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, the class of 2024. And I think it's interesting. You're one of those people, we have a couple this year too, who go in, like Jim Kelly went in because he's Jim Kelly. Or Pat LaFontaine because he's Pat LaFontaine, right? And they have a career in a sport, and that's why they go in. And even Marv Levy, like, he was a coach, and that was why he went in as a coach. And there's high school coaches and the same. But you're one of those people. Again, we have a couple this year, Jim Hutter and Al Hutter and Duke McGuire, who've done a myriad of things, right? So I'm going to make you talk about yourself again a little bit, even though, but it was really running was the first thing that propelled you, right? As you were an elite runner, and talk about how that started. I mean, I know you didn't get the basketball gene in the family, right, or whatever.
Yeah,
but
and I don't know. I think I'd push back a little bit on the elite piece of it.
you won the Buffalo Marathon. That counts as elite twice.
But some
that
of
counts.
my heroes in this world, like a Vicki Mitchell or a Judy Arlington, or some of those folks that from our town and our
My
area.
first marathon was 4:40, so you couldn't run that. You couldn't run that long for 4 hours and 40 minutes.
Well, you know what? Yeah. And I will tell you that. And there is a notion of, I don't know if I could do what some of the slower runners do. And I mean that in full respect.
And I'm looking at my watch at the half going, well, they just finished.
Right. Yeah. No, but I did. I want to think that too. I touched upon this a lot. I played so many sports, and I really want to emphasize it. Yeah, I was blessed to finally find a sport that I was able to excel in, and that helped me grow as a person and gain that like really critical important.
And you liked it
confidence.
Probably too, right?
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. Yeah. And I can't do it as much. I mean, because I did so much of it when I was younger.
Right.
As you know, I've had my knee surgeries and my back ailments and it is like a mourning process when I wish I could be like I do have some teammates that are still out there running mile after mile, but if I want to walk or ski or do some of the things that I really love doing outside of running, I do a lot less running.
Sure.
But having that, and I think there's the passion for sports, and like that led me, like one thing led to another, which led to another, which led to another. But at the end of it all, I think always recognizing that sport is so much more than entertainment. And sometimes I feel like lately I'm like shouting or screaming that into the wind, because it's important, like especially right now during the middle of the World Cup. It's wonderful to be fans.
Sure.
And it's wonderful to celebrate and cheer with each other. I had just had some time to spend in Scotland, and there was not a better place to be at 2 a.m. when Scotland won.
Holy cow.
And just to feel that, like it rivaled some Bills Mafia.
Sure, right.
And that is a wonderful sense of community that it brings. And I don't want to at all dismiss being a fan, but being a participant is really, to me, what it's all about. Right. Whether you're running 3 hours, 250, or 4 hours for a marathon, it doesn't matter.
Right, sure.
It doesn't matter. It's all about, there's a camaraderie, a beauty in pushing yourself to limits. And I think in the latter part of my career, I think it was the gratitude I had for my own experiences that really drove me into athletic administration, drove me into higher education to really kind of advocate for those type of experiences for more people. And I worry we're losing that.
Well, and I think, the point you make is right. And you said two words in the last couple of minutes. One is sports more than entertainment, and it is, but it's such a huge part of it is entertainment. And but such a huge part of it, that entertainment, is the experience.
Yeah.
Right. And we can look at the Buffalo Sabres this year. Even for the players, the experience in November was different than the experience in March, and that's because of the fans and the spectacle. But the experience is different.
Right.
It's different for the fans. It's different for the players. And when you can experience sport, truly experience it, whether it's being with Scotland fans when they win, or in those moments, or even commiserate when your team loses, or that's all the experience of sport, and that's what you look back on. Yeah,
I mean, and it's great. I will continue to, though, you and I will have a typical Bridget Tom conversation of like, it is, sometimes I worry, and there's this great quote
sure
from in 1961 when John F. Kennedy signed the Sports Broadcasting Act, which gave the NFL what the NCAA is searching for right now, which is that antitrust exemption.
Sure.
He warned people that let's not become a nation of spectators. Let's make sure we still see the value of participating in sports. And that came from probably one of our more athletic presidents.
Sure, right.
And I want to make sure that whether it's the World Cup or whether it's a Buffalo Bills season, I think the Bills do a wonderful job at this, or whether it's, the Sabres, that there's just as much effort to bring fans in to watch as there is to bring kids into play.
Sure.
You
right.
know, and I think like the Bills with their flag football initiative and watching flag football
And the NFL's
grow.
Play 60, right?
Yeah, like
right.
all of that. And the I think that's called Ready Set Play, I think is from
Yeah.
the NHL, and I know that my daughter got the opportunity to play hockey through that program. And I just think that, like, I guess I'm always still going to be that voice
Right.
that's kind of out there being like, it's great that they won. What is the community getting from it
Sure.
outside of just
Right.
those great moments of community?
Sure, right.
And because I think that we don't want to just become a nation of spectators. Like, we need a healthy balance of both.
Right,
You know, you
sure.
need to know how to cheer people on, and you need to know how to cheer yourself through.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things that's interesting, we're down a road here that is a great road. I don't know, I was going to talk about this, but I think the other part too that you see now in a participation is the active sports, the kayaking and hiking and spiking, and like there's a lot of that where it's maybe you're not playing beer league softball or something, but you're doing those other things too. So had you said to somebody 20 years ago, we'll be able to sell a lot of kayaks in Buffalo, they'd be like, you're crazy? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And now they're all over the place, right?
Right.
So
I think biking too. I think
biking,
like biking
yeah,
is
bicycling. And,
and I think that's a good trajectory that I've seen, as I study this and watch it. In the past 10 years, I've had the opportunity ever since I was a student athlete on the NCAA committee, student athlete advisory committee, all the way up through the Wilson Foundation work, and even at my time at Niagara University, to travel internationally. And what I always used to notice is that in other countries, you walked into a sporting goods store, and the very first thing you saw was things to participate.
things to do, right?
You didn't see, jerseys right away.
Sure.
Like you didn't see Lionel Messi's jersey, or you didn't see, I'm going to be stretched here.
Yeah.
But you didn't see those international players' jerseys in European sporting goods store. You saw things to participate. And I noticed that when you go to a sporting goods store here, when you walk in, like you walk into a sporting goods store in Buffalo, New York,
That's Josh Allen's jersey.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get too far before hitting Josh Allen's jersey or a Bills shirt. And some of that. But it's interesting, as you mentioned, that's kind of changed over time, where in Europe, it's still the same.
Right.
It's all about participation, and maybe there's some branded stuff in the back. But here you're starting to see more of that, like you can go get a kayak, and you can go the rise of pickleball, right?
Right, pickleball's a huge one,
Pickleball's
right.
huge. And the rise of flag football for girls. I'll keep going back to that because that has been such a fun thing, and that would not have happened in Western New York if it wasn't for the Buffalo Bills and Mary Wilson.
Right. And those are the things. It's the do thing. So
Yep.
Back to experiences. Let's go back to the dinner. Now
Okay.
we're 2 years out.
Sure.
We're getting ready for this year's dinner. Great class, another great class.
Great class. Really excited about the ECC women's softball team being recognized. I mean, 2 back-to-back national championships. I was on the phone with someone the other day, and we were trying to figure out if there was
Another one
another team
Yeah.
that has really been able to do it. I couldn't remember if it was Kathy Twist's University of Buffalo tennis team. She had some back-to-back, but that was conference championships.
Sure, right.
So we're really talking about national championships. And especially since we just saw the NCCC men's team win a national championship.
Yeah.
So it's really great to see that team from the
there's high level sports, throughout the region. It's not always just the Division Ones, but it's
softball, too.
softball
It's a tough sport to play in Western New York.
Yeah,
and
right.
You went out and you go win a national championship against those southern schools.
The weather doesn't cooperate exactly.
It's an accomplishment.
Right. Yeah. So, but you think back and you talked a little bit about your family and that, but did you get a chance to take it all in that night? Like, did you get a chance to look around and go? Or was it more, why am I here?
My advice to this year's induction class is don't be nervous. Take it all in.
Yeah.
I wish, I did. I really have some great pictures, so thank you for that. And it was really a moment where I was able to pull in so many different people from different parts of my life.
Sure.
Because I'm not one of those folks that are going in because I was a stellar athlete in just one sport. It was, yes, I ran at a high level,
ran a high level, but then your impact you've had.
To do other things.
Yeah.
And those, whether it was build a great athletic program at Damon University with people I absolutely cherish in my soul, that time period of my life always be one of my favorites. And I miss going to work with some of those people on a daily basis and the team we had, and we still stay in touch. But I was able to take it all in for the most part. I mean, it was sad. My college running coach, Dick Barry from UB, who I'm extremely close with, it was Father's Day the other day, and I just spoke with him because I have this tradition of calling him on Father's Day. And unfortunately, he wasn't well and couldn't travel,
Sure, right.
and he was going to present to
Okay.
me. I was so lucky to have Vicki Mitchell, who's been such a role model to me growing up and such a dear friend, to be able to present it. And I was honored that it came from Buffalo, because obviously the University of Buffalo was a huge part of my life, and all my degrees are from there. I got 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'm a proud Buffalo graduate, but it went by a little bit too fast. I eloped, so I never had a wedding reception.
Because that's the comparison people give you. Is like if you're wedding.
And you know what? I didn't like now.
So you don't have that,
it kind of confirmed I wasn't ready to have a big wedding reception because I was a little overwhelmed that night. But it was great. It was great to see my siblings together, especially my older siblings, my sister Maggie and my brother Joe. But in particular, my sister Maggie, like the sacrifices she made for me, I can't even talk about without getting choked up, which is why I chose not to mention some people.
Sure.
There is no way I would have been able to get through that if I had talked about some of my siblings, my sister Martha, too.
It comes to you quickly when you're doing that, the emotions. I'm the same way.
And then I come from a big family, so then it's like, well, I don't want to, mention one and not mention the other. But I really, but the fact that my siblings were there to share in it, and then just, it was crazy. I had like people that were my younger brother. Like I have a brother, Dave, who is actually the second leading number of wins of any Division III coach right now in the nation. So I'm a very proud sister. He's been coaching for over 25 years. But I was always in his, I always felt, not in his shadow, but kind of marveled him.
Sure.
And he had friends growing up that helped me, they encouraged me to do sports.
Sure.
So they came, and that was wonderful. Because, I was like, hey, everybody just...
It's a big party. Let's go.
It's a big party. I personally, I just bought 3 tables, and I was just like, no one's paying for a ticket. You're all just coming in.
Come and fill in.
This is the closest. And then some of my closest teammates from college were there. I think most special to me, and I'm so grateful, that was a gentleman who never coached me, but his name is Kevin Carriero. And most people know him as Coach C. He's an absolute legend in Lancaster. And I knew him through my college coach, Coach Richard Berry. And Kevin and I had the opportunity. We knew each other. Was one of those, and he'd since passed away. And that's why he passed away the following spring.
Okay.
And it was just, I called him up and I'm like, would you be there? And then Chuck Godfrey, who's my high school coach, he's like, I'll drive him. So the two of those guys came together. And that to me was huge. But Kevin Carriero, there's so many of us that never came within 2 miles of Lancaster High School that know Kevin Carriero, because he was the type of coach that he would tell you when you had a good race, but more importantly, in high school, if you just flopped, he would be like, chin up, eyes forward, move along. You got another one ahead. I use that line all the time with people. It was like, chin up, eyes forward, there's another race ahead. And those people that reached out to you when you just absolutely had a bad race. So he and I forged a friendship. And then as I moved into athletic administration roles, we were putting on the World Masters Track Championships at UB. And it was my first job out of college. And I was the volunteer coordinator, and Kevin and I were basically there 24/7 with another guy from the track team. And we forged a friendship that lasted, obviously all the way up till June of 20.
The other thing about sports, we talked about entertainment experience, but the other part, which clear from you and others comes out, is just relationships, right? Yeah. So you go into a Hall of Fame or you have a championship or whatever, but you really see the people who reach out to you or you reach out to them, and the relationships you've built, and it can be life-changing.
They can be life-changing, and it's such a special night, and we're so lucky to have, and I'm not saying this just, because I'm sitting here on the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame podcast. We're so lucky to have this mechanism, this group, this organization that recognizes it, because each fall it recognizes it recognizes these folks, and some of them are just phenomenal athletes or wonderful community contributors, or people maybe like me that just have had this really long relationship with sport and the community. We get to recognize all of it, and it's such a cool night,
Right.
and you get to hear their stories, and it's nothing like it. My older brother, Joe, a longtime college basketball coach and athletics director in Alabama, was just inducted into the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. And my brother Dave has gone into the Erie Sports Hall of Fame.
Right.
And I've been to both of those, and they're lovely events. And I don't want to, and the people behind it are doing, but I think we've got to appreciate what Buffalo is able to pull off.
Right.
Because, and I always think, and this is great because I have been around it a lot, when you have someone from out of town that maybe like a Rob Gronkowski,
Sure, right.
or
Dickie Knowles last year, who spoke
Dickie
for,
Knowles. Oh, he was wonderful.
who spoke for the
I hung out
manager
with him
when-
most
yeah.
of the event.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah, but he was blown away by it.
He was blown away by it. So was the Gronkowski family.
Sure.
So was I think
Orpix
years back
with-
when we had one of the Olympic skiers and Summer Sanders came in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And
Slopey.
Slopey.
Eric Slopey. Yeah.
He like they were like, wow,
This is a big deal.
This is a big deal, and
Yeah.
it's a nice event.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
a high level event, and I think it also is a very Buffalo event. Buffalo is a place of relationships.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
as I've taken on different opportunities, I've never said goodbye to people because I'm like, I'll see you again.
Yeah. Well, that's Buffalo. That's Western New York.
Yeah.
But that's also the world of sports. Like
Yep.
it's the people. You know this person who knows that coach, who knows this coach, who's from there, and it's unbelievable connection. So
It's great.
yeah, this year's dinner is September 24th. Bridget, thanks for spending some time with us today.
I hope people make time to go there, whether they know someone or not. It's a feel good night.
It's
It's
a
like
great-
going to a great concert.
It's one
Tom.
of the it's one of the best night. Yeah, it's one of the best. Nothing like a great concert too, or a great game or whatever.
Yeah,
like you
it's a
just walk
great
away
night.
and go, "What a great night that was!"
Yeah, and the messages people try to convey are really special.
Yeah,
so
and
hope
just to see the people,
Hope to
yeah.
see everyone there.
Yeah, the tickets are on sale now on our website on Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Dr. Bridget Nyland, class of 2024. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Sure
Have
thing.
a great.